HD. ZNS Network presents The Bahamas Tonight. This segment of the news is brought to you by BTC, powered by Lime.
Officers on the front line of the crime fight honored today. Good evening, everyone. I'm LaDawn Davis with the Bahamas Tonight Weekend. Thanks for tuning in. With murders in the double digits and serious crimes a major concern, government has implemented a number of crime-fighting measures as it tackles this menace head-on. One of those initiatives is Urban Renewal 2.0, and it's said to be assisting police as they make inroads in the war on crime. While today the officers who stand on the front line of that community effort were honored for their dedication and hard work as they tried to rid those inner-city communities of crime. A special service was held for them at the Prayer and Praise Assembly in Coconut Grove.
There has to be some spiritual uplifting to deal with what are taxing, vexing circumstances in this country. We are fighting the demon of crime that seeks to consume this nation. And the front-line warriors in this battle are the police. And we in Urban Renewal appreciate that we are an integral part of this, and those who head the centers are extremely important in dealing with these demonic, and I use the words quite pointedly, demonic forces.
That was Urban Renewal's co-chair Algernon Allen, who stressed that the army of good will always triumph over evil. He, along with co-chair Cynthia Pratt, are pleased with the work of those officers in the crucial program. And while there are some who criticize the police and don't think that they are doing enough, Mrs. Pratt says we ought to have faith in the brave men and women who put their lives on the line to protect us from those who cold-heartedly break the law.
Oh, the police aren't any good. Oh, they do this and they do the next thing. But these are the same police officers. When we're attacked, we got to get on the phone and call, come quick, come, I need help.
Mrs. Pratt also says giving officers kind words of encouragement and partnering with them goes a long way in the crime fight.
But these are the same police officers who have to make certain that your yard is safe when you call. They have to go out there in the middle of the violence, not knowing if they're going to return home. These are the same ones who we badmouth. We're here to lift them up today. We're here to say thank you.
The nation's chief Prime Minister Perry Christie says he is pleased to see that Urban Renewal 2.0 is reaping great rewards in fighting the war on crime and commended those officers attached to the program on a job well done.
I've always believed that it is indispensable to law and order in this country, indispensable to the well-being of the most disadvantaged in our country, that we have a program such as Urban Renewal, and I expect great works for Urban Renewal. I'd like to congratulate the church. This is not the first time I've been in this church. It's an important thing for a church to recognize what's happening in the community. I've always said a church is not what happens in the four walls of the church, but what happens when the church has an outreach to the community. And this is what is happening here.
Every week we hear of a number of crimes, from armed robberies to murders, and in most cases the victims and perpetrators are young people. But all is not lost. While some youth decide to walk on the wrong path, there are a number of others who dare to make a difference. One such group is from the Seventh-day Adventist Church. Yesterday was Global Youth Day, and instead of sitting inside and listening to a sermon, thousands of young people hit the streets to be a sermon. Youth Director Pastor Kent Price says it's all about reaching out to the community.
And I want you to know that a number of our churches have gone out in the community. They have given bread out in the community. They have given balloons, and they have allowed the persons in the homes to write their prayer request on those balloons and allow those balloons to ascend into heaven. And we believe that once those balloons have ascended, we know that God has already answered their prayers. Our theme is one in what? Compassion. And we are here to share kindness. We are here to share love. We are here to share what God has placed upon our hearts, because God has commissioned us to do our work here, and that is to save souls. And we believe the Holy Spirit has touched our young people.
Now, the Adventist Global Youth Day ended with a concert in Rawson Square yesterday, where the young people ministered in song. Crime and the number of traffic fatalities on the streets is a major concern for authorities, and with 19 road deaths already taking place this year, government has launched a special campaign. It's called A Text or Call Can Wreck It All, and this weekend it was a real show and tell at the Marathon Mall. We must warn you that the video is a bit graphic, but the gruesome scene was designed to sensitize the public to the dangers associated with texting and driving, drinking and driving, speeding, and applying makeup while behind the wheel. And just hours before that exhibition, police were called to a scene in Eleuthera where several persons were injured during a smash-up. Eleuthera has had its share of traffic accidents in recent weeks, and officer in charge of the Road Traffic Division, Superintendent Ken Strawn, is encouraging residents to slow down.
4 persons who were in that vehicle. The vehicle, it was engulfed in flames after the collision. 2 of those individuals had to be airlifted here to the Capitol in a very serious life-threatening conditions at this time. So we are monitoring that matter at this time, and we encourage, particularly our family islands. We have seen an increase in incidents of serious and fatal accidents in our family islands. So I appeal again, pay attention, slow down, place your seatbelts on.
Now, Strawn says he can't stress enough the importance of paying attention on the streets, buckling up for safety, and easing up on the pedal. He noted that the graphic display was not about scaring people, but to drive home the fact that too many people are dying on our streets.
The intent is not to discourage you, but to cause you to understand the end results of those factors that have been outlined. We have cases where persons have been driving with children not properly placed within a child's restraint seats. So there's a little baby that is featured in this display. We have an incident where a young man who was riding without a helmet, who having collided with a vehicle, is lodged beneath the vehicle.
Hopefully, once we begin to really gather the proper statistics and we are able to see the trend of these accidents, we're going to be able to come to the public with proper legislation as to how we can fix these problems.
Have members of the Bahamas Electrical Workers Union expressed no confidence in their current executive team? Well, ZNS News contacted President Stefano Green, who said he would be surprised if they took this step despite some concerns. Green said at their last meeting there were a few who suggested that they would push for a vote of no confidence. When asked if there was some discord in the union, Green says earlier this year, 8 of the executives voted to suspend the Secretary General. However, she appealed and the suspension was overturned. The bone of contention was that she did not walk out of a meeting along with them, even though he, Green, called for everyone to stay in that meeting. Green said that their last meeting was on Wednesday and they discussed issues affecting staff. It was agreed that they would withdraw from negotiations with management until government meets with them. This is a developing story, and ZNS News will continue to follow it. And when we come back, we'll tell you why an international leader is suing a local daily. That story and more in the Bahamas Tonight Weekend continues.